Ho ho ho! It's cocktail time, and it's classic cocktail time. So we're going to do a mojito today. Obviously it's from Cuba. There's a lot of different views as to where it originally originated as a drink. So some say it was South American Indians who came ashore on Cuba just looking for what the island had to offer them. And one of the things they took away from Cuba was what they referred to as aguardiente de cana. They took this away, mixed it with other botanicals to make medicines and other things. And to them, rough translation of aguardiente de cana is burning water. It's actually a very crude original sort of kind of rum. So that's one suggestion is where mojito came from. Another is that it could have come from Sir Francis Drake. Allegedly around the 1650s or so, the British sort of started having rum when they were out in the Caribbean, places like that. They mixed it with various things such as lime and things. And one of the things the lime helped was help to prevent scurvy and dysentery. So some people think that it may have come from Sir Francis Drake. There was a drink called El Draca, or Drake, which had brandy in it, but was a sort of similar to a mojito, but it was sort of based on brandy. So some people don't think that is the right reason for the name mojito, but some say that's where it came from. One of the other suggestions is that African slaves who were working the sugarcane plantations in Cuba, sort of sugarcane syrup is one of the things they used to drink, and they mix that with other stuff including rum, and then a few things like lime and stuff to give it a bit of flavour. So that's another version of where it may have come from. One other suggestion is that actually mojito come from mojadito, which just means a little wet, and if you see in the recipe when we do it, you just put a splash of soda in and things like that, so it's not a big drink. So that's a possibility. So let's crack on with that. There's a few things to do to put into here. So first of all, got a glass. I'm using some fresh lime here, but obviously you could just use lime juice. So it's half a lime chopped into 4 segments. I'm just going to pop one segment in there. We're going to be using some fresh mint leaves. So get the fresh mint out, and probably looking at 5 or 6 or so leaves. So just pull some of these off here. Doesn't have to be accurate. You can really smell the mint on these as you pull them off. And just give it another one for good luck. So you pop that in there, and then you use something called a muddler, which is just to sort of squash it. What you're really just trying to do here is to get the juice out of the lime and just mix it in a little bit with the now, although this is supposed to be a mojito glass, it's actually branded Bacardi mojito glass, it's not actually a good one for doing this because the bottom's actually quite thin, so it's hard to really get in there. So that's one of the wedges of lime that I've just mixed in, bashed and squashed a little bit with the mint. And now I'm going to add in the other 2 wedges of lime. And we're then going to add some sugar syrup, and it wants half a measure of sugar syrup. So I'll pop that in. That's the sugar syrup. And then it says just to give that another decent squeeze. Again, you're just trying to give the limes a decent squeeze. You're really trying to get the juice out of the limes here, which is also one of the reasons why I quite often just use the bottle lime juice, because it's just so much less fat, really. So that's that, giving that a decent squashing. Try and get that mint back in. And then it's add the rum. So it is 2 measures of white rum. One, 2. At this point I could have added the ice actually already at this point, so I will do that now. What have I got left in here? I've still got some. I'd probably actually normally put a little bit more ice in here. It starts to melt a bit. So a decent amount of crushed ice in there. And then it just says to add soda water. Some recipes don't tell you how much soda water to add. This one actually does suggest that it should be just half a shot of soda water. So you're only really just giving it a little splash. Probably just over a half. Pop that in. Where's my straw gone? There we go. Give it just a little mix up, just to try and really get the mint and the lime up from the bottom a little bit. Let's see what that tastes like. I quite like that. Big thing is to really make sure you get the lime juice out and into the drink really. So that is a mojito, and it is, just to run through it again, 5 or 6, recipes differ quite a bit on this, but I use 5 or 6 mint leaves. It's 2 shots of rum, half a shot of lime juice or half a lime, and you just cut it into wedges to use it as your shot, squeeze it down. In fact, I didn't actually use the last one, so before I have my last taste, so I'll just squeeze the rest of that. So I used half a lime, but if you actually do it in measures, it says half a measure of lime juice, and half a measure of sugar syrup, and half a measure of soda water. So that is a mojito. Cheers!
Ya lah, nanti gue kata